Hello everyone. I've received a few questions about the Current Events Forum and so wanted to record this short video to answer some questions. What is the Current Events Forum? First, you only have to make one Current Event Forum post for this semester. I encourage you to do so sooner rather than later. In previous semesters, students have selected articles that were not suitable, and if you do so at the end of the semester, there is no time to revise and resubmit, which means you lose the points. The Current Event Forum means that you find a current event in the form of an article from any source that you can access. The Wall Street Journal is fine, New York Times, NPR, or any other professional publication that was published in the last 12 months. So nothing older than that. You select your article, you summarize the key points of the article, and you explain how the article is related to course material. For example, earlier this week, I sent out a link to an NPR news piece about arranged marriages in India. How is this related to course material? Indian culture is one that is very collectivist. This is something you will study in Chapter 2, which talks about cross-cultural differences. Indian society is collectivist, which means that people make decisions about their own lives, including selecting a spouse or choosing what to study at university or what university to study at, while considering how this personal decision will impact their immediate network, their family or their extended family, or even beyond. In the US, we're a very individualistic society, which means we get to make these types of decisions independently of how they might impact other people. But in India, that's not the case. And so the way this current event ties back to the course is through culture and cultural differences, India being a collectivist society. India is also a very hierarchical society, high on power distance. Again, this is a term that is going to appear in Chapter 2. Part of the article discusses parental objections to their children marrying outside their caste, specifically marrying someone from a lower caste. In the US, we don't really have this concept of a stratified society, but in India, even though the caste system has been outlawed, the society is still very much hierarchical. And so the two ways in which this current event ties into the course is both through culture, the collectivist nature of Indian society, and the high power distance of Indian society. So if you had picked this article, the one I shared from NPR, you would have summarized it. This is point 2 right here. And then in point 3, you would have explained how the article ties back to course material. How do you actually create a forum post? You go on your As You Learn page and click on Add Activity or Resource. You would click on the forum post icon to be able to add your own forum post. Once you click on the sample post example, which is a current event from last year that I used as an example for you, you can scroll down and click on Add a Discussion Topic. Here you would select a title for your current event forum. And then you would follow these 3 points. You would indicate the date of your article, the title of your article, and then either copy-paste the article itself or provide me with a link so that I can find your article and summarize the article briefly. A paragraph or 2 is more than enough. In the following part of your post, you need to explain how the current event ties into MGT 3800 topics. So here in my sample post, I gave 4 examples on how the story of McDonald's pulling out of Russia is related to MGT 3800. Clearly, these are very underdeveloped examples. I just give you an idea of how the article ties into the course. For your own current event forum, you need to develop 1 or 2 ideas more in depth, a bit like I explained for the current event shared about arranged marriages in India. If you're struggling to find an article, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm happy to either look at an article that you find and tell you if it's going to work, or help you find an article as well.